Yeah.
Coincidence.
Yeah.
Coincidence.
Yeah.
Coincidence.
Something that happens by chance, I think not.
Morning guys, welcome back to Buy Wholesale. Today, as promised, we're going to give an update on the Boohoo earnings, highly anticipated by myself, and I'm sure the rest of my subscribers as well. We're going to have a read at the report, see what it means, how we've played the last period. As I said in my previous video, my plan was to try and swing trade this. I will tell you how I've done that and why I've got such a big smile on my face. Before we get into it, please like, please subscribe, grow on the channel, you know what the crack is. Without further ado, let's get into it, baby. Okay, so as I said in my previous video, I previously bought into Boohoo on several occasions, and you know, we've had some good rises out of it, taken some good profits. However, I've also been burned on it twice following the allegations of Leicester and the sweatshops and all that kind of jazz. I'm not going to go into it. Please check out the previous video in the archives for a bit more of an update on that. But this time around, I do like the stock. You know, you love the balance sheets, you love the turnover, you love the growth, you love the way that they promote. They've been able to take dead brands and revitalize them. The guys know what they're doing. On the face of it, they're a good, attractive stock that I can see going forward. They're just going to grow. Okay, so I am attracted to the stock, but there is concerns that a news report could come out, especially by the freaking Guardian or whatever, and it just sinks. Okay, so it's a bit of a risky stock, but long term I think it's safe as houses. So in many of my videos I say my strategy, I buy in the stocks and then I ease in, okay? Especially with this stock, I was a wee bit cautious of it. So I opened up my position again on the 30th of November at a price of £3.17. After this I waited about a week and I bought back in on the 7th of December at a price of £3.04, so slightly less. Follow my video, and when I told you what my plan was to swing trade it up to the 11th, I bought a load more on the 6th and the 7th, roughly an average price of £3.58, which considering where the run up was, wasn't the greatest of buys, but considering my previous position, it brought me to about an average price of about £3.30, give or take. So that was my average price, and then with the intentions of swing trading it, I was carefully watching the stock. 2 days ago I sold at the peak of £3.70. Disappointing, because I was really hoping that we would have got probably quite close to the £4 mark like most of you guys. But we got to £3.70. I was happy with my swing trade, 75% out, happy days, left 25% in as a bit of insurance in case it did shoot up and it did miss that rise. It hasn't, it's sunk. But let's talk about the report and what else I've done today. Okay, there's a lot of news reports about the Boohoo update, and of course, being biased, I will jump on the good old Belfast Telegraph. Boohoo sales soar in lockdown as it claims progress after supply chain scandals. Okay, so straight away the headline makes you go, right, happy days, we're on track here. Revenues rose 40% to 660 million on the back of a strong Christmas and Black Friday sales. Probably no surprise that that was going to happen, considering all the lockdowns, considering everybody's moving towards an online presence. It was obviously inevitable between all the Boohoo and all the different brands that they have that they were going to absolutely smash it. So that's not a great surprise to me, and that's probably why it shot down, because people are taking profits, guys. People expected this kind of news. I think every person under the sun, including their granny, knew that Boohoo were going to do well in earnings here. So if we know it, then the price has baked all that in. So there's all the swing traders, people like myself, jumping off it, except from if you're doing a shrewdness, you should know the stock well enough. You would have knew that this was probably going to dip and you would have jumped out of it in advance. Yes, my only regret is not pulling everything out, but if my aunt had balls, she'd be my uncle. So it is what it is, and you just never know. So the key thing is here, Boohoo's told investors it now expects to deliver revenue growth of between 36% and 38% for the financial year to February, ahead of previous guidance of 28 to 32%. So it's increased its guidance, guys. A company that increases its guidance is rock hard. It's doing extremely well. Okay, so it's saying in the face of the pandemic, it's about 10% extra costs that they're going to have to put out. Higher distribution, administration costs, and a result of a cost headwind. There's going to be a couple of factors in here. You know, they're going to have their operations, obviously, their inquiries, tidying up the whole scandal thing. And that's going to cost them money. And they're not going to probably publish too much about that, but that is going to be an issue there that they're going to have to absorb. Then you've got Brexit, cost of distribution, but every company is going to have that. So that doesn't really put me off too much. Yes, it might hurt a bit of the revenue, but that's going to be across the board, guys. Okay, every company is going to have these costs that they're going to incur. You want to hear words like expand when you get reports. It's going to expand its warehouse capacity. That's a great thing, so they're investing in that with a new site for its Nasty Gal, Caramel, Coast, Oasis and Warehouse brands. So everything's getting an upgrade. So these brands that they've bought, they've revitalized them, they're growing and they see the need for expansion. Happy days, and it's always good to see jobs being created, especially in today's global situation. Boohoo has said it is making excellent progress to put in place recommendations following the recent report on the scandal. They're addressing the issues. They've been quite quiet over it, but they've been going on in the background, ticking over, and they're coming out and they're saying, look guys, we're putting this behind us, we're making the changes that we need to make this company grow and get better and more in line with the correct procedures. Boohoo says 64 companies have been removed from its UK supplier list as a result. Wow, that's a hell of a lot of changes there. So it's going to take time to implement that, but ultimately what they're saying is these companies have been part of the reasons why we're behind the scandal. We employ them, we expect them to follow the correct procedures, almost washing their hands of it. I find it kind of hard to believe that Boohoo were completely oblivious to this, but that's not here or there. They're correcting it, they're making things right, and that's ultimately the main thing. And the chairman's here saying, look, he's pleased to publish Sir Brian Leverson's first report today. I'm immensely proud of the speed in which our team has worked to effect change during such a challenging period for the group, and it's encouraging to see our progress acknowledged in the report. John Little, Chief Executive Boohoo, said, I'm delighted with the group's performance over the peak trading period. Our team worked exceptionally hard in 2020 as we navigated many challenges, including the COVID-19 pandemic and the successful acquisition and interrogation of Oasis and Warehouse. And then he just finishes off by saying the group is in an excellent position entering 2021, which we expect to be another year of progress towards our goals of leading the fashion and commerce market globally. Looking on the Morning Star here, we'll see a bit more details on it. The US saw the largest growth, with revenue jumping 52%, guys. UK revenue rose 40%. And the rest of Europe posted growth of 30%. The rest of the world segment revenue climbed 20%. So goes on to what he was saying there. He wants to grow globally, and by the looks of it, that these guys are absolutely doing it. So just to summarize, guys, Boohoo smashed the last sort of 3-4 months over the winter period, Black Friday sales, as I expected and probably most people had expected. Just common sense really. But they've smashed it. They've updated the percentages and growth expectations for the end of the year reporting. Fantastic. They've given us an update on what they're doing to mitigate the issues that they had previously with the scandals, and putting things in place. Great. And they've also spoke about the growth around the world globally, which looks fantastic, especially 50% in America, guys. And lastly, they're talking about expanding, reinvesting, growing the warehouse for the other brands, which just shows you that those brands acquisitions that they've made over the last sort of 18 months are throbbing. So all in all, I don't think we could have wished for anything better. Said in the last video, I'd be stunned if it didn't get up to £4. I think the best we got up to was about, what, £3.75. So we didn't get up to that point, which is disappointing. But look, it is what it is, guys. You know, it's very hard to predict these things. You just don't know, and the market prices in so much. But on the back of this news, just to reiterate what I said, I'd be stunned, guys, if this isn't up to £4, and I would be. Today, I was watching it carefully. It fell down to £3.58. And I loaded up there, guys, as you can see here. I feel a lot more comfort from the reporting today and the reading the article. It's dipped. I'm not surprised by that. It normally does do on earnings. It's just one of those bizarre things. It normally does. And that happens on a lot of stocks. I mean, even look at Tesla, for example. Earnings day, battery day. There's always a dip afterwards. All that is, guys, is people jumping on the bandwagon, swing trading. They're getting up to the point. The news comes out. They're hoping to get a rise. They don't. They pull their money out and they move on. It's just the way it is. But it doesn't concern me. Look at this report, guys. It's fantastic. They've given an update on all the things that were feared, all the things that we wanted to hear. They've said it all. I wouldn't be surprised if this finishes up on the day after dipping. I think ASOS did that yesterday. They opened up down, but finished up on the back of their news. I'd love to hear your thoughts. How were you taking the news today? Were you disappointed with the dip? Did you expect the dip? You know, get the feedback to me. I'd be interested to hear. That's the video. I hope you enjoyed it. Just an update, and like I said, I'll keep the updates coming. If there's any news that comes out, you'll be first to know. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please like, please subscribe. We're going the bitch. You know the crack. Thanks very much, guys. Peace.
Yeah.
Coincidence.
Something that happens by chance, I think not.